What if your dog understood more of what you said than you ever thought possible? Not the commands, not the tone, not the treat they saw in your hand, the actual word, the meaning behind it, the mental image it creates inside their brain. Scientists put dogs into MRI machines and EEG scanners to find out. And what they discovered, published in some of the world's most respected scientific journals just months ago, will completely rewire the way you talk to your dog. Forever. These are the 5 words your dog actually understands. Proven. By experts. Let's go. Before we start, if you love your dog, or any dog, hit that like button right now. It costs you nothing, and it helps this channel reach every dog owner who deserves to know this. And if you're new here, subscribe and ring that bell. Every single week, we go deep into the science and history behind the greatest bond on Earth. You belong in this community. Now, I need you to stay through to word 5, because the last one on this list is not what anyone expects. And once you hear what researchers found, you will never say that word to your dog the same way again. I promise. For most of history, scientists believed dogs responded to words the same way they respond to a bell. A word is just a sound, a trigger. The dog doesn't understand it. They've just learned what comes after it. Then neuroscientist Dr. Gregory Burns at Emory University did something almost no one had done before. He trained dogs to lie completely still, awake, unrestrained, voluntary, inside a functional MRI brain scanner. And he watched, in real time, what happened inside their brains when they heard specific words. The science, Burns and his team trained over 100 dogs to enter MRI machines voluntarily and remain still for up to 7 minutes. The scans revealed that dogs' brains showed activity in the caudate nucleus, the reward and emotional processing center, when they heard meaningful words from their owners. This is the same region that lights up in human brains when we experience love and anticipation. Not similar, the same region. Then, in 2024, researchers at Eötvös Loránd University in Hungary went even further. They used EEG brainwave scanners to record what happened in dogs' brains when they heard the names of objects they knew. The results, published in Current Biology, stunned the scientific community. The discovery that changed everything. When dogs hear a word they know, their brains create a mental image of the object that word represents. Just like yours does right now reading this sentence. The word activates a memory. So when you say these 5 words, your dog isn't just hearing a sound. They are thinking, and science can now prove it. Let's count them down. Word number 5. No. Let's start with the most powerful word in your vocabulary, and the one dogs understand earliest in life. No. Here's what's remarkable. Scientists studying canine cognition have found that dogs process no with both hemispheres of the brain simultaneously, meaning it registers as both a meaningful word and an emotional signal at the same time. It's one of the rare words that hits a dog on every level. But the science, research from Eötvös Loránd University showed that dogs use their left hemisphere to process the meaning of words and their right hemisphere to process emotional tone, exactly mirroring the process in human brains. The word no, spoken clearly and with intent, activates both sides simultaneously, triggering what researchers describe as a full comprehension response. It is one of the earliest words a dog begins to associate with consequence. Scientists note that dogs' cognitive ability in processing simple negatives compares to that of a human child aged 6 to 12 months. But here is the critical detail most owners miss. No only works as a full word, not as a shout, not as a long repetitive stream. No, 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 no actually reduces comprehension because the emotional overload overwhelms the linguistic signal. And one word, clear, calm, and direct. That's the science of no. Your dog doesn't just hear no as a sound. They experience it as a complete cognitive event. Meaning, emotion, and consequence, all at once. Word number 4, walk. There is a reason dog owners around the world have learned to spell this word out loud, W-A-L-K, in front of their dogs. Because the moment a dog hears it fully, it is physically impossible for them to stay still. But why? Is it just excitement? Is it conditioned behavior? Or is it something deeper? The science. Canine behaviorist Clive Wynne at Arizona State University, one of the world's leading dog cognition researchers, noted in 2024 that the word walk produces one of the strongest and most consistent behavioral responses of any word in a dog's vocabulary. In MRI studies, the anticipation response in the dog's caudate nucleus upon hearing walk closely mirrors the response seen in human brains when we anticipate something genuinely exciting, a date, a vacation, a reunion. The dog is not just reacting, their brain is predicting an experience. They are mentally simulating the walk before it begins. This is one of the most sophisticated cognitive processes scientists have identified in dogs: predictive mental simulation. When your dog hears walk, they don't just get excited, they start building a picture in their mind of what is coming. The grass, the smell, the movement, the time with you. They are thinking about the future. Walk is not just a word to your dog, it is a promise. And they know, down to their bones, exactly what you are promising them. But word number 3, stay. This one surprises people every time, because stay seems like one of the harder words, a word that requires a dog to override their instincts, to resist the urge to move or follow. Surely a dog can't truly understand that word. They must just be responding to a hand signal, a posture, a learned cue. But science says otherwise, and the way dogs process stay reveals something extraordinary about how they actually think. The science. Dr. Gregory Burns' team at Emory discovered through fMRI scans that when a dog holds a stay command, their prefrontal cortex, the region associated with impulse control and self-regulation, shows measurable activity. This is the exact same region humans use when we consciously resist an urge. The dog is not passively waiting. They are actively choosing to hold still. The word stay engages the executive function of the canine brain, the cognitive machinery of willpower. This means your dog doesn't just hear stay as a cue. They understand it as an instruction that requires deliberate effort to follow. Think about what that means. When your dog holds a stay and looks up at you with those focused, earnest eyes, straining against every impulse in their body to run to you, they are exercising self-control, consciously, for you. Every time your dog holds a stay, they are making a choice, not following a reflex, making a choice, because you asked them to. Word number 2, their name. This is the one that stops people cold, because surely, a dog doesn't really know their name is their name. They just know it's a sound that gets their attention. Right? Wrong. And then the proof is in the details of how a dog responds to their name versus any other sound, including other words said in the exact same tone. The science. A remarkable test used by canine cognition researchers involves saying a dog's name in the exact same tone and enthusiasm as a random word, refrigerator or toothpaste, spoken with identical warmth. Dogs consistently ignore the nonsense words and orient specifically to their name, not because it sounds familiar, but because their brain has categorized it as uniquely self-referential. A 2024 study from the Eötvös-Loránd University confirmed that a dog's name triggers a response in the temporal cortex, the region associated with social identity and self-recognition, that random words of equal familiarity do not produce. Their name does not just mean pay attention, it means me, and your dog knows their name is about them. They have, in some functional sense, a concept of self, at least enough of one to recognize when they are being addressed. When you say their name in a dark room and their head lifts, that is not conditioned reflex, that is recognition. When you say your dog's name, something ancient and extraordinary happens inside their brain. They know you are talking about them. They know they matter to you, and they turn toward you because of it. Word number 1, the one that changes everything. Good boy/good girl. I promised you word 1 would change things. Here it is. Of all the words on this list, all 5, backed by all the science, this is the one that matters most. And the reason why is more beautiful than anything you might expect. The science. In the landmark fMRI study published in Science by researchers at Eötvös-Loránd University, the study that made global headlines, Good Boy and Well Done were tested in multiple ways. What they found was extraordinary. When a praise word was spoken in a praising tone, the reward center of the dog's brain, the caudate nucleus, lit up with the same intensity as it does when a dog anticipates food or play. But here is the detail that changes everything. This full reward response only happened when the correct word was matched with the correct tone. The word alone was not enough. The tone alone was not enough. Both together created the full neurological experience of being praised. Your dog doesn't just hear good boy, they feel it as a complete, multi-layered emotional event that their brain processes identically to a physical reward. And a 2024 study went further. It found that for many dogs, the reward signal triggered by verbal praise from their owner was equal to or stronger than the signal triggered by food, not sometimes, consistently. In a significant portion of dogs tested, your words, these 2 words, mean more to them than a treat. When you say good boy or good girl to your dog, with real warmth, with real presence, their brain releases the same neurochemicals as a hug. It is not a reward. It is an experience of being loved, and they feel it in their bones. That means every time you said those words today, in the kitchen, on the walk, when they waited patiently while you put their food down, you gave your dog something genuinely profound. You didn't just praise them, you made them feel it. 5 words, proven by brain scanners, EEG studies, and decades of canine cognition research. No, walk, stay, their name, and good boy. Each one does something real inside your dog's brain. Each one creates a thought, an image, an emotion, an experience. They are not just hearing you, they are understanding you in the only way they can. And it turns out, that way is far richer, far deeper, and far more beautiful than most of us ever knew. You already speak your dog's language. You always have. You just didn't know the science was listening too. Go find your dog, say their name, and then tell them they're a good boy or girl. Because now you know, they will feel every single word. If this video gave you something, a new appreciation, or a new wonder for the dog in your life, please hit that like button. It takes 1 second, and it helps this reach every dog owner who deserves to know this about their best friend. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now and hit the bell. Every week, we go deeper into the science and history of the dog-human bond. And what's coming next week, I think you're going to love it even more than this. Now, I want to know something. What word does your dog react to most? And what do they do when they hear it? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one, and the best answers might make it into a future video.